You've been conditioned to despise what you perceive as your shortcomings. They've persuaded you that your profound sensitivity, your vibrant intensity, your distinct worldview are flaws needing correction. Yet allow me to impart a truth few dare to voice. What you label as weakness is, in fact, the clearest indicator of your inherent, slumbering superiority. Man is a being destined for transcendence. What have you accomplished to transcend yourself? I pen those words not for the contented masses, but for those who sense an unnamed fire within. This is for you, who feel alienated, out of place, fundamentally misunderstood. For you who've spent a lifetime striving to fit into a mold never designed to contain your immense potential. Listen closely, because what I am about to reveal will shatter every preconceived notion you hold about yourself. You are not frail, you are formidable, and the world is keenly aware of this. That's precisely why they've taught you self-loathing, to distrust your instincts, to silence the inner voice that shouts truths others cannot bear. Have you observed how your mere presence unsettles others, even when you do nothing? How your probing questions dismantle their comfortable certainties, how your very existence exposes the mediocrity disguised as normalcy. This isn't frailty, it is raw, untamed power. A power you've yet to fully grasp because you've been conditioned to fear it your entire life. I, Frederick Knights, have peered through the veil of societal deception. I've witnessed how the uninspired construct entire systems to subjugate the exceptional. They forge morality, religion, social customs, all crafted to make the soaring eagle believe it must behave like a common sheep. And you, my dear listener, are an eagle that has forgotten how to command the skies. Consider this. How often have you been told you are too intense, that you overthink, feel too deeply, demand too much? That too much is their involuntary admission of inadequacy, for they cannot think with such depth, feel with such fervor, or demand so much from existence. Rather than ascending to your level, they seek to drag you down to theirs. Modern society functions as a factory of mediocrity, and its most successful product is convincing the superior that they are deficient. They lead you to believe that your inability to conform is a character flaw, that your inherent rejection of superficiality is antisocial, that your hunger for profound meaning is pretentious. But I declare to you, these are all signs of your superior nature yearning to break free. Do you know why you struggle so much to adapt? Because you were not created to adapt. You were created to transform. The fish does not adapt to the desert, it seeks the ocean. And you have been trying to subsist in a desert of parched souls when your very essence demands oceanic depths. Let me share a secret understood by few. The suffering of the superior is not a weakness, it is heightened consciousness. You suffer more because you perceive more, feel more acutely, comprehend with greater clarity. While others slumber serenely in their ignorance, you remain awake, tormented by questions they cannot even formulate. This torment is not a curse. It is the cost of lucidity. I myself was deemed fragile, sickly, solitary, misunderstood. Physicians predicted my early demise. Colleagues dismissed me as excessively radical. Women found me too formidable. Yet while they languish forgotten in the dust of history, my ideas continue to ignite the minds of those brave enough to confront them. Do you know the true tragedy? It's not that you are different, it's that you've learned to be ashamed of your distinctiveness. You've absorbed the poison of normalcy. You've convinced yourself that you should desire what they desire, feel as they feel, live as they live. But each time you attempt it, something within you rebels, and then you punish yourself for not being like everyone else. What if I told you that this internal rebellion is your salvation, that your inherent inability to conform is the clearest testament to your superiority? An eagle cannot thrive as a chicken without falling ill, and you have been sickening yourself, striving to live a life that simply isn't yours. Look around you. Observe the well-adjusted. What do you see? Emotional zombies who have bartered their authenticity for acceptance. Automatons echoing borrowed opinions. Dead souls confusing mere comfort with genuine happiness. Then, look at yourself. Restless, unsatisfied, always seeking something more. That very restlessness which torments you so is the mark of those destined for greatness. The world tells you your sensitivity is a weakness. I tell you it is the radar that detects what others cannot perceive. They say your intensity is frightening. I tell you it is the fire capable of illuminating the shadows of mediocrity. They claim your standards are too lofty. I tell you they are the sole barrier between you and spiritual decay. Do you know why your relationships are so complex? Because you seek depth in a world of surfaces. You seek authenticity amidst masks. You seek truth among skilled deceivers. And when you don't find it, you prefer solitude to the theater of society. That doesn't make you difficult, it makes you whole. I have observed the pattern time and again. The superior spend the initial phase of their lives believing they are inferior. They compare themselves to the norm and find themselves wanting. But the norm was crafted by and for the unremarkable. It is akin to judging an eagle by its inability to cluck like a hen. That is your dilemma. It is not that you are weak. Your plight is that you have been employing the incorrect metric system. You have been evaluating yourself based on criteria established by those who could never truly grasp your intrinsic nature. Consider if Albert Einstein were to judge himself by his inability to excel as a diligent clerk. Modern society has labels for those like you: troublesome, maladjusted, difficult, intense, complex. I, Frederick Knights, offer alternative titles: pioneers, visionaries, creators, transformers. The distinction lies in perspective. They perceive you from below, faulting you for not fitting into their constricted worldview. I observe you from the elevated vantage point that is rightfully yours. Do you desire the brutal truth? Most individuals do not wish to awaken. They are content within their slumber, and your mere presence acts as an alarm threatening to rouse them. This is why they attack you, criticize you, attempt to diminish you. It is not personal, it is an act of survival. Your illumination exposes their shadows, and this terrifies them. But here is the pivotal insight that will transform everything. You do not require their approval. In fact, their disapproval serves as confirmation that you are treading the correct path. When the mediocre applaud you, be wary. When they censure you for being too much, celebrate. It signifies that you have touched upon something profound, something that transcends their limited comprehension. I wrote of the Übermensch, not as a fanciful notion, but as a dormant potential within specific individuals. These are the ones possessing the audacity to reject the morality of the herd, forging their own values. They grasp that true strength resides not in dominating others, but in complete self-mastery. And you, who have persevered through the starkness of my words without retreating, you are one of these individuals. Your perceived weakness is in reality undirected strength. Your suffering is unrealized potential. Your nonconformity is genius awaiting context. Yet, make no mistake, acknowledging your superiority is not the culmination, it is merely the inception. For with recognition comes immense responsibility. The responsibility to cease pretending you are less than you are, to stop apologizing for your intensity, to refrain from shrinking yourself so others may feel at ease. Do you understand what is most perilous? It is when the superior believe themselves inferior, squandering their immense power by striving to conform. It is like using a surgeon's scalpel to spread butter. It functions, but it is a criminal waste of extraordinary potential. You have been indoctrinated to view humility as the paramount virtue, yet false humility is merely thinly veiled cowardice. Authentic humility involves recognizing both your limitations and your inherent greatness. And you have been denying your greatness for such an extended period that you no longer recognize it when it manifests. Each instance you lower your voice to avoid intimidation, you betray your true nature. Every time you oversimplify your profound ideas to be more accessible, you insult your own intellect. Each moment you feign contentment with mere crumbs, you die a little on the inside and you are aware of it. This is why you ache, because your soul intrinsically knows it was fashioned for more. The world teems with individuals who have chosen comfort over potential, who have bartered their inner fire for the tepid warmth of societal acceptance. I do not condemn them. Mediocrity too is a legitimate choice, but it is not your choice. If it were, you would not be here absorbing these words as the parched earth absorbs rain, would you? Now arrives the critical inquiry. What will you do with this profound knowledge? For merely knowing you are superior is insufficient. Knowledge without subsequent action is intellectual self-indulgence, and you have already squandered too much time in that pursuit. It is time for you to cease apologizing for who you are, to stop minimizing your unique gifts to protect fragile egos, to abandon the pretense that superficial conversations satisfy you when your very soul hungers for depth. Be forewarned, however, the path of the superior individual is a solitary one, not because they seek isolation, but because few possess the capacity to walk alongside them. When you cease feigning normalcy, many will drift away. They were merely dead weight hindering your ascent. When you speak your truth unfiltered, many will take offense, for your truth is not meant for delicate ears. Here lies the secret that the unremarkable wish to conceal. Your inherent difference is your ultimate power. Your inherent inability to conform is your unerring compass towards greatness. Your persistent dissatisfaction is the powerful engine of your evolution. You are not weak for experiencing so deeply. You are extraordinarily strong for enduring such profound sensation and yet remaining resolute. The world desperately needs your particular brand of madness. It needs your unique perspective. It needs that uncomfortable truth that only you possess the courage to articulate. But first, you must cease seeking permission from the world to simply be who you are. I, Frederick Nietzsche, did not survive my era by adapting to it. I survived by profoundly transcending it, by daring to conceive the unconceivable, to articulate the ineffable, to challenge the unquestionable. And I paid the immense price in solitude, in profound incomprehension, in a descent into what some called madness. Yet I also received the unparalleled reward of philosophical immortality. I am not promising you an effortless journey. I am promising you an authentic existence. I am not telling you that you will be universally loved. I am telling you that you will be unequivocally real. I do not guarantee acceptance. I guarantee unwavering integrity. The fundamental question is not whether you are weak or strong. The fundamental question is whether you possess the courage to cease pretending to be what you are not, to fully embrace that superior nature you have so long denied. Frederick Nietzsche, listen intently, for I speak of a metamorphosis. I speak of transforming what others label as your weakness into the most potent force the world has ever witnessed. When an exceptional individual fully embraces their intrinsic nature, no power in the cosmos can impede their ascent. The mediocre erect barriers, the superior soar over them. The mediocre abide by regulations, the superior meticulously craft their own. The mediocre chase after comfort and security. The superior relentless pursue truth even in its harshness. You, my cherished outlier, were forged for truth, not for the illusion of safety. You were meticulously designed for magnitude, not for trivial ease. Your very essence was conceived for radical transformation, not for passive assimilation. So, the next instance someone dismisses you as overly intense, profoundly complex, or unnecessarily deep, merely offer a knowing smile. For in that moment, you receive undeniable confirmation. You are precisely where you belong, towering above their limited comprehension. You exist far beyond their reach, destined for elevated realms they cannot even begin to envision. You never fit in, and you were never meant to. You are an extraordinary spirit who, until now, has merely masqueraded as ordinary. That charade concludes today. For now you are privy to the unvarnished truth, and as it always has, this truth shall liberate you, free to become the formidable sacred entity the world may fear, yet desperately requires. Welcome to your authentic self. Welcome to the formidable expanse of your inherent power. Welcome to the dawn of your genuine existence. This true life ignites the moment you cease apologizing for embodying precisely who you were always meant to be.